So you arrest the red and black costume guy with the spikes coming out of his costume. You throw him in the back of the van. He's quite unconscious after being shot point blank in the face.
Well, I'm gonna kick him while he's down.
You're gonna kick him again?
Yeah, while he's down.
Okay, so you kick him again. He can't really, nothing you can really do about that.
Yeah.
Where?
Just inside in the gut.
Inside. Okay, fine.
It's just. I don't care.
So you throw him in the van and you bring him back to the base, and you bring him into the little underground thing opens and everything. And do you call in on your wristband? Or?
Yeah, this whole time I had let them know that we're bringing in a
so you call
perp.
You call Master Higgins.
Yeah.
You call Master Higgins and you say we got
Captain Higgins, Commander Higgins, Director, whatever his name is.
Yeah. You say we have a cape here.
Yeah, we have apprehended the cape. It's like
he says, "Oh, you got the wind guy."
Yeah, we got the wind bat guy with the red and whatever.
Oh, great. What's his condition like?
Ferdinand shot him in the face.
Oh, is he dead or alive?
I measured with my toe. Yeah, he's still alive.
You feel his pulse.
Yeah.
He seems to seems to have a pulse. And he's breathing. Yeah. Okay. So he says, "Oh, all right, good. Well, as long as he's alive, just make sure he's he doesn't you don't harm him any further as long as he just remains compliant. Bring him in, and we'll go through the booking process." So you drive into the actual building, into the little underground, not underground, but little tunnel underneath at the bottom of the building. Shut the door behind you. You're inside. You get out of the van, and you take him out of the van, his limp body, and you just bring him into the interrogation room. And the director comes down and he says, "Oh, good. You got one of those guys finally. And you see, now that we got this facility built, we can actually contain these parahumans." Unlike the police, who they can't do anything with a regular civilian jail. So he says, you remember how the legality of this works from your time in the academy, right?
Yes.
He says, okay, good. So he's like, all right, take off his costume.
Ferdinand, take off his costume.
So he walks over and he pulls the guy's costume off, and so the dude is,
describe him to me. What am I dealing with? Where are we right now? Actually,
he's there inside. Yeah, you're in the interrogation. You brought him into the interrogation room.
He's unmasked. Okay.
It's it looks like a police sort of
police interrogation
room. There's like a two-way window there.
So he's conscious now, right?
Well, no, he's still unconscious.
Then we probably should get him seen by one of the medics straight away instead of just.
Oh yeah, well first you take off his costume then.
Yeah.
So he looks like he's kind of large actually. He's over 6 feet tall. He's kind of heavy.
Okay.
Not super heavy, but he's a little heavy. He's kind of muscular. He's got dark hair. He's young too. He looks like a teenager maybe.
Okay. So it's just like raw, fight the powers. What you're saying to me? Okay. I can work with this.
So he's got some bruises on him from that beating he took. So he's gonna what you want to call the medics?
I don't know what beating you're talking about because he was a resisting arrest.
Okay. Well, yeah. So.
But yes, call the medics and have him looked over. I don't want him dropping dead on our watch now.
So some people come in from an ambulance and stuff, and they take a look at him, and as they're kind of they're looking at his vitals, he seems fine. Well, actually, no. He's kind of put his mask back on real quick, and when the ambulance comes in, so they check his vitals. He seems fine. So they kind of leave, take his stuff back off. He take his mask off, and so he's coming to. The ambulance guy basically told you, yeah. He's just got some. He's taking a little bit. He doesn't seem to have a concussion or anything like that. He doesn't seem to have any kind of.
He just seems to have a broken rib.
Yeah, he just seems to have some minor some injuries. So the guy wakes up. He's like, "What the?" And he's unmasked again.
So we're in the interrogation.
So you're in the interrogation room.
Who's in there
with him? Director Higgins, any of the team members you wanted to be in there can be in there. These are all licensed. As you know, anybody who works for the PRT is allowed to see a cape without their mask on, and nobody else is.
Okay, so
really.
So we have Higgins,
unless there's like
myself.
unless it's a medical emergency or something like that.
I guess we should have. Well, behind the glass, it's like they don't really need the other guys around. No,
it's up to you. Like, you're the team leader, you know, or the director can decide for you.
No, I'm trying to figure this out. It's like, do I actually need anybody right now? It's just an interrogation. So send them all away. It's going to be me, Higgins, and is Higgins in front of the glass with me, or is he behind the glass?
Oh, you're both inside the actual room.
Okay.
And the guy's kind of like. By the way,
I'll keep.
He's restrained him. He's kind of chained, like his hands are wrists.
I need a bad cop around. So keep Ferdinand
will be
off to the side somewhere, just watching. And actually, so have to grab a phone book, a very thick phone book.
Okay, so he gets a phone book,
and then comes back and just have him lay and put it on the table.
All right,
just in case I need it.
Okay. So this guy's there. He's got a big bruise on his face and stuff, and.
Well, then I'm going to start it off and I'm going to introduce myself to him. It's like, hi, nice to meet you. I'm squad leader Carter, and this is the point where you should introduce yourself because that's good manners. I would also like to apologize for my subordinate here for having him shoot you for him shooting you in the face.
Okay, and so. So he kind of like seems to be
stutter, son? What's your name?
So he kind of seems to be like trying to, you know, make himself seem like he's kind of still got some, you know, some dignity in the situation, and he's kind of trying to look cool and stuff, and he's just like, hey, you know, he's like, you know, he's kind of like looking and he's just like, hey, you know what my name is, huh? And then the director,
I haven't the foggiest idea of what your name is.
And the director kind of is like, yeah, we got his ID. We confiscated. We did a background check on the guy.
Background check.
Yeah, well, we got some ID on him and stuff, you know, and we looked him up. The guy's name is Christopher Sullivan. He's 15 years old. He goes to the local school here.
Oh, okay.
And then the guy's just like, he's just like, he's like, it's Topher, damn it.
What's a Topher?
He's like, that's what I go by.
You mean like Topher Grace? Really? It's like, man, what a shitty name. Well, anyways.
And he seems kind of like he's getting kind of pissed off by you kind of not, by you being a bit disrespectful and...
Okay, Topher the Loaf.
Okay.
Nice to meet you. I'm Mr. Carter here. This is Ferdinand, our good buddy. He's the one that shot you. And this is the wonderful director, Higgins. What can you do for me and what can I do for you?
So the director kind of steps in. He says, all right, look, here's the deal. You know, you're a villain. You've been doing a lot of property damage, some assault on civilians recently. You know, nothing too bad, but it's still enough to get you locked away for a good amount of time. He's like, so here's the deal. Either you can, we're a new organization here. We don't really have any capes of our own, so you can either volunteer, to work for us, and
then I cut him off for saying, like, what's your powers?
He says,
what can you do for me? What's your powers?
Didn't you see? I knocked you on your ass a couple of times with my wind.
No, not yet. Yes, you did. I saw that. But what's your powers? What are you capable of? That's what I want to know. I want to know what you can do for me before I do something for you.
All right. And that's pretty good actually. All right, so he kind of, and your attitude was like sort of more polite, respectful attitude.
I'm just pissed right now because he knocked me on my ass twice.
Yeah.
On our first big
so he says, you saw it. I make wind, and he's like, I can throw it around sometimes. That's pretty much all I figured out so far.
Okay.
He says, I'm also pretty good at smashing stuff with my bat. He's confiscated a baseball bat off of him earlier.
Yeah, I know, it's a little bit like
it's in another room.
Corner, yeah. Yeah, no, it's not your bat. It's pretty good. Pretty cool. So as the director was saying, you want to work for us, or do you want to work against us? Do you want to do time, or do you want to help me out?
And yeah, so he's like, God damn, I hate the system, man. And he's just like, he's going off. He kind of mumbles about, he's like, goddamn cops and goddamn, he kind of mumbles about authority and this and that and the other. And
yes, but why do you hate authority?
He's like, look, man.
Why goddamn cops?
He's like, you know what? He's like, my parents, they're assholes, you know. They're the reason I got these powers to begin with. And then he's just like, he kind of like looks down and then the cop says, yeah, we looked him up. The cop, Director Higgins there. He's just like, yeah, we looked him up. His parents are actually both teachers, working with local schools. We haven't contacted them yet, though. Obviously, we're
so they're obviously not aware that their son is.
No, we would.
They're aware he's a little shit, but they're not aware that he's.
We would assume they wouldn't know that. No, most people don't actually aren't aware.
It's like, you know what, son? We were all little crappy teenagers once upon a time. We all hated authority. We all hated our parents.
Mm-hmm.
What'd they do? Not buy you a pony for your birthday? Is that why you're the way you are now?
And
or did they want? Or were they just being too hard on you and expecting too much of you to make you into an adult? To make you have a future.
So he's just like, hold on, let me roll for that.
And then because he's not saying it to me, I just kind of turn away.
So he's just like, damn it, he's like, you don't understand. He's just like, they're such assholes. He's like, they made me sit outside for days, all because they caught me eating a Pop-Tart. Sit outside in the woods for days.
Okay.
And then like the director's just like, yeah, he's just like, the Dr. Richard and Mary Sullivan are his parents. He's like, we said we don't have much else on them, but he's like, they're teachers, and he's like, they're both local teachers, but
so I pick up my phone and I go beep boop beep, and I call social services and I go, hi, I'd like to report child abuse.
And the director's just like, hang on a second. He's just like, that's when it comes to listen. When it comes to these individuals with powers, a lot of them tend to have these. We've noticed a lot of them tend to get these powers from traumatic events and things like that. So you'll find most, if not all of them, have a story along those lines. He's like, look, we kind of, we'll talk to the parents, but we might look the other way on some of these things as long as they, stay out of trouble and whatnot. And
so I'm gonna look at the kid right in the eye. I go, okay, me and Ferdinand over here will talk to your parents for you.
He says,
and then I just kind of glance at the phone book. I go, if you know what I mean.
Roll for that. Ooh, that's actually pretty good. And he says, really, you can help me with my problem?
If by help you mean beat somebody with a phone book, it's like, yes.
He says, and he's just like, so, exactly, what is it in, he doesn't seem too bright though when you talk to him, but he's just like, so, what happens if I say yeah to working here? And the director starts going off, well, we can pay you, and you'll get you still have to go to school, but we'll make sure that you have to get your time to do your cape work and all that. And
it's like, son, look, before you got your powers, you ever get in trouble, have to do community service?
And he says, not really. After I got my powers, and then the director says like, yeah, we won't really have anything on him in his civilian guise. It's mostly as the actual costume villain who we caught doing a lot of this mischief and things like that.
Okay, so let me put it this way: what we're basically going to do is have you do community service. We're going to do a service for you in return, and we'll be able to call you in if we need a little bit of assistance, as long as you stay on the straight and narrow, fly right. And don't get caught doing anything bad. How does that sound to you? You'll get paid. Your parents get a little roughed up off the record. They get a little roughed up.
he says, yeah, all right, well, it sounds better than going to jail or anything. So yeah, so he's continued talking to him for a bit. The director kind of talks to him for a bit, and then he's leave the room. And then the director's like, "All right, good job. I think we got him on board. We're gonna look. You can take care of whatever you have to do with what you talked about, but we're gonna get him signed up. Make sure you bring his parents here later. We'll get all the paperwork signed, right? We're gonna get him signed up for the ward program here. We'll finally have a cape in River City.
Director Higgins, don't worry. The parents will comply with anything we tell them. Right now.
All right, and
after me and Ferdinand are done with them.
And he kind of like looks at you. He's like, yeah, whatever you gotta do, man. And he kind of swigs off his flask, and he wanders off. And so you kind of, it's the end of the day. Christopher there, Topher there is gonna kind of stay in the overnight area for now.
So. Has Ferdinand reacted at all to be saying that we're going to go and beat up some people with a phone book?
No, he seems cool with the idea.
It's like, okay.
That's his MO. That's his.
Like, we're going to go rough up some.
That's how he likes it. Yeah. All right. So as of tonight though, you kind of got them on the phone. You kind of like contacted the parents. You call them over. Mm-hmm. And they come down and everything. And they're like, oh my God, my son did this and that.
Well, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take them just to the side, and we're going to have a little talk with them first, like off the record about their dealings with their son. Okay. And then we're gonna rough them up just a little bit, not enough, but just to say that if it happens again,
like with
then maybe a little bit. That's like
that's a phone book, a blunt instrument.
I'm gonna take the phone book and I'm gonna slap the guy right in the stomach. Boom.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay.
And it's just to say, it's like, well, I'm just going to tell him, it's like, if I find out that you've been doing anything to your son again, I go, we can do worse than that.
And the parents kind of they're like, all right. They seem like this. They seem pretty, actually, as when the director kind of tells them about the ward program, they seem kind of eager to get him off their hands and everything. And so after the at least the dad, what about the mom?
The mom, I'm gonna leave her.
You're not gonna hit her, no.
But no. After I hit him, I'm staring her right in the face as I'm hitting him.
Yeah. So you rough up the dad a bit. The parents after that seem a bit. They seem like they're kind of eager to get him off their hands, and they sign all the paperwork about the ward program. They're like, yeah, sure, whatever. Just as long as you keep him out of trouble, and he'll, you can work for him, and he can work for you, and all that.
Excellent.
All right, so they take off, and the director's like, yeah, good job, and he's just like, we finally got ourselves a new cape, and we're gonna make sure that we start getting into into studying these powers, and we'll get him to help you out on some of your next missions after this.
And then we take on the plant guy.
He says, yeah. We it's like, now that you finally got a cape, I think we can actually start dealing with some of these gangs. But hey, remember, some of these capes are going to be, you might have to fight more than one, and they might be coordinated and things like that, and have some of their minions help them out. So you better be on your game,
Okay.
And Ferdinand.
And I'm just gonna go. Am I dismissed? Yes. No.
He says, "Oh yeah. Get out of here. Go to bed." And you take off and you turn in for the night.
No. Before I go to bed, I have to do one more thing. As I'm walking back to the bunks, I stop. I turn to Porkins and I go, "Porkins, still eating?"
He's just like at the. Actually, let me roll.
Is it his bag?
Let me roll for what Porkins has. Porkins got Chinese now. He's like, oh yeah, got some fried rice here.
You have a whole entire dice table where it just says Porkins is eating pizza.
We got a table for Porkins eating.